I'm going to try to refine my craft here from the last video and make this as fast as possible. The Path of Anguish, because this is going to be Anguish for me. The most controversial and most lore accurate class or subclass. Let's go into its abilities. Furious Howl. A bone-chilling howl that strikes fear in all opponents 25 feet in front of you. Those affected suffer 122 damage, that's base, and the chance to block and parry is reduced by 10% for 15 seconds. This is really good on tanks. This is really good on people who focus on parry builds. Not so good on spellcasters. It really doesn't do anything to them. Crushing Anger. A surge of malevolence sends into your foe, dealing 317 damage. This is not too bad for base damage. And interrupting them. You'll also reduce your opponent's action points based on your hate. Max hate 30. The damage is great. The effect is kind of shit because most people have stuff to replenish AP, so this is, it's alright. Brutal Smash, a vicious blow to the head that deals 296 damage as base, increases strength by 60 and also your willpower based on your hatred for the next 20 seconds. Your Dark Protector will receive increased strength and willpower if they are within 50 feet. You are a bodyguard. This is a bodyguard ability. Not only that, it's a pretty decent ability. The reason it increases your willpower is so you can heal better based off of other abilities, such as feeding on weakness. But other than that, it's mostly help you get strength and help the guy you're pretty much bodyguarding. Shield of Rage. Your overwhelming hate shields you from up to 520 damage over 10 seconds. That's base. Your Dark Protector will be affected as if they are within 50 feet. So it's basically an absorb shield that you can place on you and your ally, so you don't have to defend them normally. Mind Killer, a vile attack that crushes your target's will to live, inflicting 275 damage and lowering the intelligence and willpower by 60 for 20 seconds. This is good against healers, but I wish it did a little bit more than 60. I wish it was like maybe 80 as base, just so it has more effect, because a lot of people just, when they go into just a healer class, they dump everything into healing and willpower, so it's like, I'm scratching them. Unstoppable Fury. Detents are dispelled automatically when applied to you. This is good for keeping your damage up, but it's kinda not effective. It's okay. When people challenge you, it just reduces your damage by 30%. But you're bodyguard, so it really doesn't affect you all that much. Plus, the challenge goes away after a time. It's mediocre. I think it's good when you're dealing with a lot of tanks, but if you're not dealing with a lot of tanks, then it's Joking Fury, a particularly insulting strike that deals 338 damage and causes your target to spend an additional 20 action points whenever they activate an ability for the next 10 seconds. This is also good on healers. The Path of Anguish is sort of the healer killer build, as you'll come to realize. So you use this on a healer every time they try to heal themselves. the less action points they will have to use on heals. Mind Killer will now reduce all healing casts on target by 50%. Like I said, this is mostly for healers and dealing with healers. The problem with the Blackguard is usually, most of the time, he can't get into the back line to get to the healers. He's mostly in the front line. So, it's lore accurate, but it's like controversial because it's kind of a situational thing. Elite training for up to 10 seconds. Your superior training allows you to easily pay or disrupt next 4 attacks made against you. Your Dark Protector will also receive the benefits if they are within 50 feet. Any defense you made this time will restore action points to everyone in your group with 100 feet on your hatred. This is like this ability, but worse. Instead of healing your allies, it just gives them 4 points of block and disrupt, which will instantly go away in a couple of seconds, because if you're guarding a tank, he's going to have every debuff imaginable on him. So this is kinda shit, not gonna lie. It's good if you want to charge in alone, but if you're guarding someone, this is kinda shit. Your chance to disrupt is increased by 5% and 2% per hatred. This is really good against mages, which would help you get into the back line, but you gotta deal with melee at that point. And a lot of melee have armor piercing and will just fuck you up if you try to get into the back line. So, yeah, it's nice. It's good against blocking mages, but for the most part, you're gonna get fucked up. For the Witch King, you deal 179 damage, that's base, to all enemies within 30 feet in front of you. Additionally, you bless your group members within 100 feet for the next 10 seconds, reducing the cooldown of the abilities by 5 seconds. This is a good ability. It does damage your enemies, and it gives your group members basically fast attack on the abilities, which is insane. It's sort of a touch and go, in my opinion, but if used right, this is a really good ability. And of course, we go to the morale. In Malkuth's name, a fierce curse in the Witch King's name, brings overwhelming pain for those who hear it. Opponents within 25 feet of you receive 996 damage and are silenced for 5 seconds. So what people would do with this ability is they'd gain morale, they would pop elite training, rush into the backline, and then pop that morale to silence everyone. It's really good at breaking healers, but the fact that it's a rank 4 morale is... and that's not an ability that you can use, like you use 100 hatred just to cast this. It's kind of not worth it. You basically turn into a suicide bomb at that point. Anyway, that's the Blackguard. That's all his abilities. If you want certain ways you want to go, I would suggest toughness, strength, and weapon skill, like I said before, and a little bit of wounds, just so you live a little bit longer. Other than that, it's all up to you on how you build them.